I guess this is what it means when they say you can't see the trees because of the forest. But it is a pretty forest, isn't it? Good morning, everybody. It's Stephen here for Blend Designs and the Idiot Quilter, and welcome to my weekly vlog number 386 for December the 2nd, 2024. Hope everybody is recovering well from the American Thanksgiving and, of course, Black Friday. And yes, I did spend money on Black Friday, and we'll talk about that a little later on. But let's take a look at what I'm making, kind of a sneak peek or preview for what I'll be talking about tomorrow on the Idiot Quilter in a little bit more detail. But here we go. So this is a pattern by Stephanie Stitches, and it is called Christmas Tree Table Runner, obviously, and a lot of fun to make, very quick to make, and we'll talk about that all tomorrow. But there it is. That's the top. I'm hoping to get it on Lucy later today and get it all quilted, and then all I have to do is bind it, and it'll be done. Let's move on, shall we, to the next thing. And this is under development here. I am creating another new pattern, and I'm going to be basically, I'll be building it from these 3 blocks, not in this color scheme. I have some fabric in mind for this, and I have another pattern that I just got inspired from the cover of I don't know, do we call them albums anymore when you stream music? But you know, the graphic that came up for it, that isn't shown here, but I'm really kind of excited about that too. So basically, I've got 2 potential new patterns that'll come out not until the new year. And my patterns, right at the moment anyways, are always free. And there is a link in the show notes for 2 of my previous patterns. That if you would like to get your hands on them, just click on the link and they're yours, absolutely free. Now, I am working on some maple leaf things to go on my gift bags that I'll be giving at the end of the month out. And these are all freestanding lace. They take about 2 hours a piece to sew out, and they're coming along nicely. I finished the last one yesterday, and I may show you on a future video what this whole thing looks like when they're on the gift bags, because there's a couple of little other items I attach to these as well. I don't know what you call things that dangle from a bag. Bag fobs? I don't know. Maybe I need to have a new name for that. And yeah, that's all I've got to show you there that I've been working on. Okay, so I've been a busy beaver, and I've got more projects. And doesn't it seem, no matter how much I plan to get everything I want to get done before Christmas, like in terms of making things, I start early. I'm still making them. Why? Because I keep adding to the list. That's a problem I have, but I am a maker for sure. I'm only happy when I'm making. And I've got new project right now on my 3D printers I'm excited about. They're going to be gifts too, so I can't show you those right at the moment, but I will show them to you down the road, probably during my Can You Print That Effing Thing segment. Okay, so let's talk about the YouTube channel of the week, and we're talking here about 3D printing, so this one is a good one. If you're thinking about getting a 3D printer, or you've asked Santa to put one under your tree, then you're going to want to watch this, because it talks about the filament types you need to know. In fact, the 5 filament types you need to know and what they're good for. Filament can be very confusing because there are all kinds of different varieties. So this video, I think, would help you out with that. So here's my review of that clip. This week's YouTube video of the week is called The 5 Filament Types You Need to Know and What They're Good For. And this is really good for especially people who are just getting into 3D printing. It explains all the various filament types, and that can be very confusing. What filament do you use with which project, and what filament can your printer handle as well, because that's important too. And filaments can be quite pricey, so you don't want to buy something that you think you're going to need and find out that you don't need it, or it doesn't work with your printer, or it doesn't work with the print you want to make. So this person on the 5 filament types you need to know. On the next layer is the name of his YouTube channel. It's a very good YouTube channel. I watch it on a regular basis. I've learned a lot from him. You're going to want to check this video out to, sort out the mystery around filament types. So there's a link for it in the show notes below, and there's a lot of links in the show notes. And if you aren't in the habit of expanding the show notes, that's that part underneath the description, underneath the video. And if you notice there's a bunch of dots and then the word more, click on that word more and it expands it. And this goes for any YouTube channel you go to, because a lot of creators put links to things they've talked about in those boxes. I do. And also other vital information that might be useful to you. So if you've never expanded that to take a look what's there, do it. And do it on mine first, kind of a thing. Because in that, you're going to find my contact information. You are going to find a link for Sewing with Stephanie and Stephen, which is every Wednesday at 9 a.m. start time, and we run until about 4 p.m. in the afternoon. It's a come and go drop-in kind of thing. All are welcome. You will find the 2 patterns I just mentioned linked in there as well. And you're going to find a link to my friends' YouTube channels, Stephanie of Stephanie Stitches, Russ of Quilt Meets World, Sean of The Guy Who Sews, and of course, Adam Sews, who's over across the big pond in England. And so if you've never checked out any of their sites, you should, and the links are here for you. And then, of course, there's links to everything that I talk about in this video. And there are links to my past week videos as well. So there's a lot of information in that show box. So be sure to expand it. Okay. So let's go to what things are looking like outside this morning, and it is a frosty day. It is -6 right now, and with a high of only 2 degrees. We had snow, and you can see it here in the dark because it is now 6:45 in the morning. Yes, I'm an early riser, as you well know, but we had our first snowfall of the year, and well, it's pretty. It's probably not going to last this here unless we get a whole big dump. And looking at my iPhone and in the weather for Canada, let's see. We don't have anything predicted today or tomorrow, but we do have snow forecast, or at least a 75% chance of it in the middle of the week on Wednesday. Thursday is going to be chilly, -5, and windy. And then Friday, partially sunny, and Saturday and Sunday, cloudy. Sunday, now Sunday, they're saying 60% chance of rain, and next Monday, 60% chance of rain. Oh, I hate rain in the wintertime. I really do. I'd almost rather see snow. Yeah, rain is just dreary and dull and not nice. So that's the forecast, but really temperatures are not that low. In fact, as I said, today's high is 2, then it's 1, 3, 1, -2, 1, 4, 7. 7 next Monday, it says. 5, so yeah, it isn't that frosty out there yet. I did buy a new coat though, because this time of the year, you're in between, right? Or at least we are in my area. And I have spring coats, I have heavy winter coats, but I don't really have a decent fall coat anymore. And so took advantage of Black Friday sale on the weekend, and I purchased a new jacket at a place called Mark's, and that we have up here. Mark's Work Warehouse was its full name, but now they just call it Mark's. And it was busy in there. I went in on Saturday looking for a new coat, and the one I got, I'm really pleased with. It was about $179. Little pricey, but then everything is here in Canada. And but the beauty of it was a Black Friday sale, so I got $45 off of that, which brought it down to about $134 with tax, $135. A little bit more reasonable. Well, it's a good coat. So I guess, you've got to pay for quality, right? So anyways, I'm Got a nice coat that will do me until we get into the deepest, darkest parts of winter, and then I have a heavier coat for that. When you live in Canada, buying coats is a way of life. Yeah. Okay, so I said I was going to show you the new snowfall. So I'm going to insert the little video clip I did of that right here for you. And it's looking off my deck into our backyard. And our backyard is basically a forest there because there's a Boy Scout reserve behind us. So it's protected and it's all trees. And the trees look pretty in the first snowfall. So it looks like winter has arrived. It's December the 1st, 2024, and we have our first snowfall in our area. And it's a fair amount. It's not just a dusting, although it looks like it may be easing off now, so we'll see how this lasts. It won't last. Maybe, maybe not. We shall see. It is pretty, though. It is very pretty. So that takes me to what's pissing me off. And I just mentioned about how busy I am right now, and I'm trying to get things together because, you know, on Christmas Day, we leave for Georgia. So my Christmas decorations are up. There is a video that goes live on my channel. If you want to see my Christmas decorations, how I decorated the house this year, there's about a half-hour video that will go up at 8 a.m. today. So you can check that out if you want to see my, what I call eclectic traditional decorating. Yeah, I do explain that in the video. But anyways, so, you know, getting your house ready for Christmas, all right, that gives you stress. Going out and doing Christmas shopping with the crowds, with trying to find, you know, just the perfect gift for whoever, and the cost of all that gives us stress. Food, buying food. We have to buy extra food usually this time of the year, and things tend to be more expensive for that. So that gives us stress. I already mentioned long lineups, but let's talk about traffic to get to wherever you're going to go, or even if you're taking public transportation. Everything is crowded, busy, people jostling. You know, it's just mayhem and chaos. And this is supposed to bring us joy. No, it doesn't. It doesn't bring me joy. Thank goodness for online shopping. That makes life so much easier. Now, in my case, a lot of that stress is gone. When I was working, when I was a school teacher, I loved December and I hated December. Why? Because I worked in a school that was a semester system. So the new semester would start about the tail end of January. So before then, we'd have exams. So before that, all of their big assignments are due from the kids. And in the case of being an English teacher, those big assignments usually meant you had a lot of reading and correcting to do of major essays, that kind of thing. God, I don't miss those days. So those were all coming in. Kids are leaving for holidays early. Yeah, the parents yank them out because if they're going down to southern parts of the world or on a cruise or something like that, they pull the kids out of school early, like a week, in some cases 2 weeks early before Christmas break, because they don't want to have to fight the crowds. Yeah, I get that, but their attitude is this. They'll call me up and go, I'm taking Johnny and Sally on a vacation, or I'm taking them down to Florida to visit their retired grandparents for Christmas, and we want to beat the rush, so we're leaving 2 weeks before Christmas holidays and that. Will they miss much? Now, I taught high school. Yes, they're going to miss quite a bit. Well, will they be able to catch up on that when they get back? Well, it's a bit of a crunch, because when they get back 2 weeks later, it's exams. And these are their big final projects that are worth a major proportion of their marks. So yeah, they're going to miss a lot. Well, could you put them together a package? No. You can't put me in a bottle and ship it off of them. Okay, mind you, today, like I've been retired almost 13 years. I probably could have, and I probably would have made videos. Yeah, here you go. You can go to this website, download this video, watch that. But really, the point was, as a teacher, there is no obligation on me to do that for them. But that was extra work and extra pressure. And I don't know, people who are non-teachers think that, oh God, you do nothing. You stand up in front of a class and just rip it out of your mouth right there and then. And, you've got time off anyway, so what the heck? No. December is a busy, busy month for all school teachers at any level. Yeah, that's why we get 2 weeks off at Christmas, because the first week we're in therapy. And the second week we're trying to recover from the therapy. And when I say therapy, I mean booze. So, yeah, teachers drink. They do. And there's good reason for it. But anyways, I am digressing from my main point. The main point I'm trying to make here is pressure this time of the year. And it can be overwhelming. And there's also the pressure that comes from being alone at Christmas as well. There are older people out there, and I must say that my subscriber base is probably older people as well because of the nature of my content, which is all fine and dandy. But, we may have lost a spouse. Our children, if we have children, may be grown up and, have moved away, far away. We're not going to see them at Christmas. Our neighbors, if we're friendly with them, well, they're probably in around our age group too. And, it's more difficult to get around at a certain age. You just don't have the energy you had as a younger person. Cooking a major dinner or something for this, even for friends or even for yourself, is a bit of a pain in the butt. Putting up Christmas decorations. Well, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not having anybody over. Why bother? And I get that, because I have said to Walter, why am I bothering putting up all our Christmas decorations? We're not even going to be here on Christmas Day. We have no plans to have people over or a big party or anything like that. We're busy getting all this other stuff together to go to the retreat. Why am I making myself ill mentally by worrying about getting up my Christmas decorations? Well, somebody yesterday, I read their comment, and they said that they were alone, but they put up their Christmas decorations for themselves, meaning it brought them joy. They did it for just them. They didn't do it for the neighbors to see or family to see, that kind of thing. It was for them because it brings back memories of Christmas past, hopefully good memories. And I got thinking that's why I do it too, because everything I put out has a memory of some sort attached to it, and they are happy memories. Even when I put up the kitties, and when I say kitty, I mean our cat, our baby, our Cleo, who's been gone now since 2015. She has a sock, and I put it up every year because it reminds me of her. Give me a moment. Yeah. I tear up when I think of her because she was our baby. She was. But anyways, let's not get maudlin here. But yeah, that's why I put them up, because of the memories that come flooding back in, and they're good memories. So yeah, and in a sense, although it's a pressure putting things up, it doesn't have to be. I don't have to get it all up within 2 hours, although I do. Well, no, half a day, basically. But, I could. I put them up on December the 1st. Actually, I started on November 30th this year. I could space it out over a couple of days. It's not like I'm on a timeline here. But just my nature is I like to get these things done. But yeah, so I guess the point I'm making here about pressure is we put pressure on ourselves too, don't we? We're our own worst enemies for all this kind of thing. There's also, though, another type, and it's not so much pressure this time of the year, but it's if you're alone, if you're not going anywhere or something like that, there's a little bit of depression with Christmas as well. And I get that too. And I really feel for people who may be alone at Christmas. So I was going to talk about it a little further in, but I think I'll talk about it now. I'm having a pop-up sew day this coming Saturday, December the 7th. It's a Zoom. Links are in the show notes below. If you're on my mailing list, you will get a email sometime today, Monday, December the 2nd, with the links in it there as well. And this time it's a special edition of a pop-up sew day. I'm trying to make it festive, and I'm trying to make it festive because it's going to be a Christmas party. Yes, we will be working on whatever we want to work on, the same as we always do on a pop-up sew day, but this time I'm trying to make it a little more special. I'm suggesting to people if they want to dress up, have a little bit of decorations in their background or something like that, dress up as in, ugly Christmas sweater, antlers, whatever grabs you or floats your boat on that, then by all means, let's do it. Let's have some fun. Okay, let's get festive. Bring along a little Christmas snack, even if it's some boughten sugar cookies from the grocery store, a cup of hot chocolate, or something a little stronger, whatever grabs you on that. Let's have fun. Let's be amongst friends and enjoy the day. Because I know there are many of you out there that will be alone. And if I can bring a little bit of joy, a little festivity into your life through the wonderful world of virtual, then yeah, that makes me happy as well. We're going to have prizes too. The prizes are just going to be a digital pattern with a Christmas theme, but I've got a whole bunch of them to give away. I'm still working on the logistics of how I'm going to do that in a Zoom. I wish Zoom would come up with a name generator, random name generator thing. People have asked for it. Zoom isn't bothered with it because that would make life easier. But I will figure something out because I want to give out prizes. Because I like to give things out and it makes me happy. Now, I will tell you, before you get too excited about the prizes, most of them are patterns I have scoured the internet for that are freebies out there. But that's okay. You may not have seen these ones before. I tried to get ones that were a little bit more unique, and that's what I'm giving out. There are a few that I own, and I'm giving those out in the pile as well. So I've got quite a few. I think I've got over 30 to give out. So it's going to be a busy day for me, and that's just fine. I don't have a problem with that. As long as everybody's having a good time, that's all that matters. So what am I pissed off at? I'm pissed off that we let the pressure of this time of the year get to us. It's supposed to be a fun time, so let's have fun. In everything you do, try to find the fun in it. Yeah, I know, it's hard to do that when you're standing in line waiting to purchase, Christmas presents and you've got 5 more stores to go to. But while you're standing in that line, why not look around the store and see, have they decorated it? They probably have. And look at the decorations. We don't necessarily look at their decorations when we're in there. We're so busy concentrating on what we're buying, we don't notice the atmosphere the store may be trying to create. Listen to what's playing, the Christmas music. Yes, you've heard the Christmas music many times before, but why not listen to it again while you're standing there? Say hi to somebody in the line and wish them a Merry Christmas. That goes a long way. I am not one of those kind of people that stands in line and talks to strangers. But, if you just make an effort, you see that they probably weren't expecting that from you, but they light up, even if it's just briefly, and probably give you the greeting back. And it makes you feel good, too. So these are all little things we can do to bring the joy back in. And remember, it comes very quickly and it goes very quickly as well. So let's enjoy it while it's here. Because the bills come in on January. Yeah. So, yeah, that's what I'm pissed off at. Pissed off that people don't find more joy in this season. Okay, let's move on to the grow lights. Well, Okay, we've got things to show. Things are growing here. Let me see. Let's go to here. There we go. This is grow light number 1. Not a lot there yet, but it's coming. Walter put in more lettuce. One leaf is a little brown. To pull that off. I'm not sure if he's got anything. He's got something in the second pot with the big yellow butterfly covered in bug guts. I think that's lettuce as well. I don't think he's got anything yet in the other 2 pots. Now, grow light number 2 is a jungle. We just had some of the lettuce last night from here. I clipped it, some of it, and we ate that. Along with some basil. I love to throw fresh basil in the salad as well. It gives you sort of a surprising taste in your mouth. You're munching away on your lettuce and suddenly you hit a basil leaf and it's like, ooh, what's that? So those are coming along very nicely too. And these are peppers. Walter got them started under the other set of grow lights, and now they got a little bigger, so you put them in their own little pot because they need a fair amount of room. And this is grow light set number 3, which is the bigger grow light setup, and they're coming along quite nicely. I'll have to see if he's going to start some more here because we need more pepper plants. They take a long time. We will not have peppers on those until into the new year as well. So things are growing very nice, and that brings me joy. Green stuff growing brings me joy. Okay, so new products. Well, I'm not going to show these today. I'll just mention them, but I'll show them on the Idiot Quilter because they're more appropriate for the Idiot Quilter because they have to do with quilting. But I did take advantage of Black Friday sales. We went up to Quilter Quilting and I bought some fabric. I needed some backing fabric for that quilt I showed you a couple of weeks ago, Quilt of Valor, that we started at the sew day with Quilts of Valor, and I finished it up. Well, it's sitting out in the Lucy room waiting to be quilted, but I needed some backing. And wide backing is expensive, as you probably well know if you're a quilter. 108 inches, and it's here in Canada, it averages anywhere from $30 to $40 a meter, and you need about 3 meters for most projects. So, yeah, see. Well, Quilter Quilting had 25% off, and their wide backing fabric tends to be on the higher side, but they have a better selection than most places in my area. So that's where I went. And while I was there, I found a special ruler that I've wanted for a while, and it was 25% off because it was an expensive ruler. I think it was like about $81. And yes, I did need this ruler. Okay. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, tune into the Idiot Quilter tomorrow. I'm going to show you that haul, and I'm also going to show you, I went into Ultimate Sewing to pick up some thread. I came out with all kinds of thread, and I came out with all kinds of fabric. Yeah, I knew that was going to happen. I have just been, in the last week, I've just been a spending whore. I really have been. In fact, I just bought some more stuff, more filament this morning because it was on sale. It's Cyber Monday on Amazon. Yeah, and I blame Walter that for, every time he sees a sale, he has to buy it. And he did. He bought another pan. Yep. He bought a pan. It's made in France. It's a very nice pan. Don't ask me what it's called. I don't know. All I know is it's made out of the same stuff as my crepe pan, which is a great pan. We've had it for years. Yes, I make crepes every week. No, I don't. I haven't made any for a while, and now that we're on this cut back on carbs thing, yeah, every time I mention the word crepe to Walter, I get that. So, yeah, no. But anyways, he bought this big pan. You know, make a really big crepe. But they are a nice pan. They come from France. They're not poo-poo. So anyways, yeah, and of course I already mentioned I bought a new coat. And I'm not showing it to you because, yeah, it's a coat. But it's a nice coat. I like it. And I guess that's all that matters, right? Okay, so flip the page. What am I talking about next? Ah, yeah, can I print that effing thing? Yeah, well, I said that I make all my Christmas stuff and that well in advance, but then there's something else I see that I have to make. And this is one of those things. And it was these Christmas trees. And I've got a little video showing you that. And I was doing some more dragons, and you've seen my dragons before that I have made, and they come out usually very well on my printers. Not this time. Had a major problem. But I made a little video about these two items, and yeah, I'm going to insert it right here for you now.
You know, 3D printers are great for making unique gifts and home decor. And I thought today, though, I would talk about a problem that I had with some of the creations that I have made in the past that worked then but didn't work now, and what I did to solve the problem. But first of all, I'm going to talk about this Christmas tree right here. I love this. I used a rainbow filament for this, and I made a whole bunch of these in different sizes because they look great on in my Christmas decor, and if you check my Christmas decor video out, you'll see where I've used them. But I want to point out something really unique about this design. I think I found this design, I saw a creator on, let me just get a better focus here, on YouTube, Macy Maker, I think it was, and she had discovered this free downloadable model for your 3D printer on, I believe it was Printables, but I could be wrong about that. And she was printing out the smaller versions, the original size actually, which are about, a third of this size. And they're really cute, but they scare you when you print them, because if you look at this closely, those are loops of filament. And usually when we see loops of filament like this, we call this spaghetti. But this is a design that has taken advantage of the ability for a printer to print spaghetti. And, well, yeah, they didn't really have it print spaghetti. They used it in a very controlled way, but it printed this really cool Christmas tree. And I love the design. Now, I had problems with it on one of my printers. It was slipping off the build plate, but I fixed that because the build plate needed to be cleaned. And that's a tip I can give you as well. If your prints are slipping off your build plate, take a little soap and water and a little scrubby, soft scrubby, and just give it a little bit of a clean, and then go over it with some rubbing alcohol. And if there's any oils from your hands, or even from residue from the filament, which you may not be able to see, but I think there might be something that it leaves a trace of on the plate, it'll make your prints slide off. Now, there's other reasons why your prints won't adhere, of course, but that's what I found worked best with my printers. Okay, so I love these little trees, but I want to show you something here. Dragons. I have made these dragons before. It is a 3D print you can find on 3D Cults. You have to pay for it. It's not that expensive. I think it worked out to about $5.60 Canadian. And I made some of these several months ago, and I believe I showed them here on my channel for you. So I decided I would make a dragon for a friend of mine as a gift. And it was going along very nicely, and I was using basically that rainbow filament, because I love that rainbow filament that I used in the Christmas tree. But I want to show you something. It got up to about 90% printing, and it was finishing up. This is all a print in place, meaning that it doesn't need any supports or anything. And it comes off the build plate exactly like this, and it's articulated, so it all moves around. But look at the top of the wings. Yeah. And what happened? I did about 4 or 5 attempts at this before I solved my problem. It was getting up to this point, it was printing really well, and then it knocked this wing off the build plate. So it was starting to hang like that, and then of course you know what the result was, spaghetti. So it didn't complete it. Use your words. It didn't complete it. And that was a bit of a waste of filament, although these don't use as much filament as you might think. But it still didn't matter. It was a waste of time too, because they take about a day and a half to print. So I was a little bit perturbed about that, but I rose to the challenge and decided I was going to figure out what was going on. And after 5 attempts, I got it to work. So you can see this one. He looks really good. And I have a couple of other ones, same model, but I reduced the size. This one is, I think, 50% in size, and this one's 75. Now, Why did I make them in 3 different sizes? Because I was trying to figure out what was going on. My first theory was, okay, maybe there's something, the machines are working fine. It's not the machines. I cleaned the build plate, as I mentioned before, and everything was sticking to the build plate. But it was when it got to that tip, it was having a problem. So I thought, okay, maybe it's within the G code or something, but I don't know enough about G code to go in and see if I could isolate the problem. So I had re-downloaded the file, and I didn't know if they had improved the file, and that was because of that. Was it something to do with an update I had done recently with Cura, my slicer program? Was it causing me grief? I did a search on the internet to see if anybody else was having these kind of problems. I couldn't find anything. So I thought, okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to reduce the size and see if I have a problem with that. And that's how this one printed out. And so my idea was, okay, if it prints at 50%, let's go up another 25% to 75 and see if it'll print here. And it did. So I went to the full 100%, and it did. Now, I also tried changing the position on the build plate. I rotated it 180 degrees, and this one was rotated 180 degrees, and it printed fine. But here's what the problem was. I did not use a brim. A brim will help give support or adhesion to the build plate. Once I figured that out, even though I don't think I did that with the original models I made several months ago, for some reason I needed to do it this time. And once I put a brim on them, there was absolutely no problem whatsoever. So I kept this one because he's pretty. To the average person, if they looked at it quick, who are not into 3D printing, they go, ooh, isn't that pretty? And wouldn't realize, unless I pointed out, that the wings aren't finished on it. So it just sits in with a bunch of other 3D prints that I have. I call it the Clipped Winged Dragon. And so that's a lesson. Don't give up. If the first time it doesn't print properly, think about it. Try different orientation. Make sure your build plate is clean. Try a brim. The one problem with a brim, though, is they are a bit of a bitch to pull off, but not as hard as supports. And these are supportless. So, yeah, just persevere, and you'll get your results, hopefully.
Now, speaking of making, years ago, before I was ever a quilter and I was a paper crafter, I stumbled upon a YouTube video showing you how to make a Christmas wreath using an old book. I still have that Christmas wreath, and I made that probably 20 years ago or longer. I absolutely love it. It's getting a little ratty these days, but I will not throw it out. Well, here's my video about that.
Hi, it's Steven. Just wanted to show you my latest project I made. I know it's only September, but I've made my Christmas wreath this year. And this Christmas wreath is all made out of old books, or actually one old book. And I'll get a little closer up here and you can see the pages. And then after I made the cones, I simply went about spraying them with walnut ink. And that aged it. And then I bought these little balls at Michael's. Wasn't easy in September to find Christmas decorations, but Michael's, believe it or not, actually has some of their things out, I guess for people like us who like to craft. And I just glued those into the center along with a little gold poinsettia that I had laying around from last year's Christmas decorations. And I think it turned out pretty neat. Now, I'll give you the web address for 2 YouTube videos that really show you how to make this in the notes. I'm not going to bother showing it to you because these 2 videos that I'm going to list are really good. They're very clear. I altered it slightly. I didn't like the way some of them didn't really fill in the gaps, so I stuck extra cones in here and there to flesh it out. But it didn't take long to make. The most tedious part is making the cones, and you can see there's quite a few of them. And so what I ended up doing, I think I did it in about 3 or 4 hours. Did it on a Sunday afternoon, actually. Now my biggest problem is where am I going to store it so it doesn't get crushed until Christmas comes?
Okay, so that takes me to events in the past week. Well, of course, the big event in the past week was doing the Christmas decorating. And as I said, I have made a video showing you every room that I decorated and how I decorated and explain some of my tips and tricks about how to get the most out of your cheap dollar store Christmas decorations, because most of mine are. How you can make your own, especially if you have a 3D printer or an embroidery machine. I talk about how I incorporate existing decor with my Christmas decor because I'm basically too lazy to take it all down and replace it with Christmas stuff. So I disguise it. Yeah. You'll get the point when you see the video on this. So if you're interested, as I said, that should be by the time this goes up. If you're watching this on YouTube, then it should be, the other video should be available on my channel as well. Okay, so of course I've already mentioned the pop-up sew day. Again, the link for it is in the show notes. Come, be festive, be merry, have fun. And that's this coming Saturday, the 7th of December. Doors open at 8 a.m. Virtual doors, but it's come and go as you please. Now, every year I get the Missouri Star Quilt Christmas Advent Jenny Doan box, whatever you want to call it. And Stephanie and I, and this will be the 3rd year we've done this, we open it together and give you our honest reactions and judgment of all the things that we've got. Now, we have set this up, and the first video goes up on December the 5th, and we do the first 5 openings. We're doing them in groups of 5, and that's how we've done it the last couple of years as well. Rather than opening one every day, we made the video so that we open 5 at a time. So there'll be a video come live December the 5th. Live meaning it'll be available for you. It is not a live. We pre-recorded these, but our reactions are genuine because we did not peak before we did the recording. You get to see them. You get to watch a video with our reactions as they genuinely happened at the moment we opened them up. And then on December the 10th, you'll have the next 5, December 15th, the next 5, etc., right up to Christmas Day. Now, I know there's other content creators out there who are already putting theirs up day by day, and that's fine. What we do that might be a little different is we basically rate the gifts, and we pick the one from each set of 5 that we like the best. And we have similar tastes, Stephanie and I, so sometimes we come up with the same thing, but sometimes we diverge from that. And at the end, we talk about what we like the best and what we didn't like the best. So yeah, if you're interested in seeing our unboxing the way we do it, then check it out when it goes up next on when's the 5th? The 5th is Thursday? Yeah, Thursday of this week, I believe. This second, 3rd, 4th, 5th. Yeah, will be Thursday this week. It goes up at the same time on Stephanie's, so you can pick whose video you want to watch. It doesn't matter to us, one way or the other. Yes, it does. I want you to watch mine. No, it doesn't. No, really, it doesn't. But yeah, so that's coming up. Okay, something else coming up. We have not done the social review that we used to do once a month or so in quite a while, mainly because we ran out of topics and we were all busy with other things. But we have decided, and when I say we, Stephanie of Stephanie Stitches, Russ of Quilt Meets World, and Walter and myself, it's going up, and it will be a YouTube live on Thursday, December the 19th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. It will be on Stephanie's channel, but I will, when we get closer to the date, I will put the link in my show notes for all my videos that come before that date. So you'll be able to just link it from there. But it'll be up on Stephanie's channel as well. In fact, it's already there. It's not live yet, but the thumbnail is there. So yeah, you might want to go check out her channel just to get your orientation as to where this is located. It's very easy to find. And what are we talking about on that day? Well, we decided to do something a little different. It's not going to be all about quilting and sewing. We've each chosen 3 YouTube channels that we really like and go to regularly. And they may have something to do with quilting, but not necessarily. We're not one-trick ponies, okay? Yes, we all watch a lot of videos about quilting and sewing and that kind of thing, but we have other interests as well. So those will be reflected in the 3 videos each one of us have picked to talk about. And Stephanie has put a link into the show notes for the social to all of those. So if you think they might be something you're interested in, you'll be able to go to them after the fact and check them out yourself. So that is on Thursday, December the 5th, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. It is a YouTube Live, and you will find the link for it on that day on Stephanie's channel. So we hope to see a lot of you there. It'll be a lot of fun. Okay. I think that's about it. Now, one thing, people are this time of the year, content creators are all doing Vlogmas, where they do a little short video every day up to Christmas Day. I am not one of those. I have been asked if I'm going to do Vlogmas. I don't do it. And here's why. I already put out 4 videos a week. I'm too busy to add anything more to that. I've got more things to make here. And yeah, and as it is, I'm already doing the unboxing with Stephanie. We're doing the social review. There's a lot on the plate here, okay? And that's why I don't do it. And also, I don't know what I would do it about if I was to do like Vlogmas. So, no. Maybe one year I'll get into that. Might figure out a way of how I can do Vlogmas all in advance and just have them done before December starts, and then just schedule them all to go out on certain days. Maybe, I don't know. Don't hold your breath on that, because I'm not. Besides, other people do such a brilliant job. Stephanie is doing Vlogmas. Russ is doing Vlogmas. And there's tons. It's just, you could sit up all day and night and watch nothing but Vlogmas videos on YouTube. And maybe some of you do. So there you go. 'Tis the season. Yeah. So on that note, I'm going to say goodbye. Check the Idiot Quilter out tomorrow, because there's a lot of things I have to talk about and show you tomorrow. Do check out my video about my decorating if you want to see what I call traditional eclectic. That's my designer style. And tail end of this week on Friday, we will have the last segment of our So Chatty edition of putting together a freestanding lace, freestanding applique 3D project using our embroidery machine. And of course, Stephen and Walter Live next Sunday. So lots here for you. You will never be bored, I hope. Okay, have a good week. We'll see you later. Bye for now.